All right, cool. So now we're live, and I kind of like
Nice.
the informal starts, even though people always mock me for it. But I just kind of like it because it feels like when you're
Yeah.
behind the scenes, you can talk relaxed, and then sometimes, depending on the stream, you get on stream, and it's like a different, kind of setting. Or I don't know. So to me, I want to just make it feel like it's behind the scenes. Anyway, welcome to the chat. We're gonna let some people get in here. I will. Let me send out the link too. But want to welcome Justin, also known as Agent Zero. Great to finally have you on the stream.
Well, I mean, it's yeah, it's been a long time coming, I think, at least.
I think we were
I've just wanted to
talking.
meet you.
Was it in September or August? Even I think.
Yeah, it was a long time ago when I was in the beginning stages of creating the ash can. I had approached you for an ad,
That's
just to
right.
put in there because
Yeah,
I really I received a copy of Downcast, an Alterna issue, issue number one, and actually I think I collected the first five in that same campaign. It was I'm trying to remember. It was one of the campaigns, and I backed it, and so I got it, and so I was looking through those issues, and at the time you were doing the you were gearing up for the Dracula stuff. I think trying to get the word out on that. But yeah, that was all the way back. Let's see, the first time I reached out to you was back last June. So, um, and yeah, you were gracious enough to provide me with an ad copy, and so that's now part of the Ashcan preview that's associated with this campaign that people can click on
and I'm
and
gonna
read Chrome Dog.
there we go. I'm gonna share the whole screen because then we know.
Yeah,
We'll just
yeah,
let people in on it. But yeah, this was,
yeah.
and I know I've seen, uh, well, your name is an Agent Zero around a
Mm-hmm.
while, but it's
Yeah,
it's
Agent Zero.
cool to see you progressing so much. I mean, since we initially talked, this was
Yeah,
the ad. You said, "Hey,
yeah,
send me some ad copy." I threw this together. It I don't do many print ads, so it was kind of fun to just
yeah,
I just slapped something together, but it was kind of fun to like, hey, print, it still exists. Especially we're
yeah.
making comics, but print ads are not usually what I think of initially. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
good stuff.
but yeah, when I did the Ashcan, I thought, I want to promote other people in the space, and like I reached out to a few different people, had some rejection here and there because it's kind of like I'm sure they were thinking, who's this guy?
Yeah,
What is he? What's his angle here? Especially when he's not asking for money or anything. He's not asking for anything. It's just kind of like, here, let me do this favor for you. What's he gonna want from me later? And it's like it's not even like that. I just believe in I, from the beginning. Like I was in. I was in it to win it with CG
yeah,
and with the indie comic space that we're a part of here. So
good stuff. Yeah, I like it. It's a good approach. It's been a rough year for me as far as streaming goes and YouTube. I don't have to tell you that, but everyone in the chat will for sure. But it's been, yeah, I mean, just a crazy year. So I haven't done a lot of YouTube period, but especially not cross promoting and everything. But yeah, I am glad to have you on tonight, and I want to talk about your book for sure. We'll now that we're kind of out and about, let's check in with the chat. Paul Riley's here. He says, "Hey Clint." Yang Zan Zhao is here. He says, "Evening." Snuggy Junior's here. Yo Clint. Yo Az.
hey,
Ara is here. Hello all. Hi Clint. Del A is here. Rough year. Yeah, yeah, it's been a crazy year. Things are definitely looking up though. It's gonna be good. Um, so very cool. So I have a couple things I want to bring up, announcement I want to make, but first though, let's do look at Chrome Dog. Number one, I do have a few questions for you, but just so people know, this is Justin's project. And so far, I mean, we saw the image on that ash can, but like scrolling down through some of the
Yeah,
artwork, this is one that's like, it's so
yeah,
cool. This
yeah.
is Aaron
That's the
Lopresti.
Aaron. Yeah,
Wow.
Aaron Lopresti's doing the alternate art cover. So this is the variant, the single variant that I'm doing for this campaign. I asked him, and he kind of said, hey, well, when do you need it by? And I said, well, I'm launching on this day. And he said, I don't know if I can make it by then. I said, that's fine. I said, just whenever you can, I'll stall the people. But I'm like, I'm still launching this thing, so. And so we came to terms, and he went ahead and he said yes, and so here we are.
Very
um,
cool.
and yeah,
Well, I love it. Aaron Lopresti is one that, I mean, I always appreciate some Aaron Lopresti artwork. He's one of those guys that I'm a little hesitant to ask to do a cover, and like I think this is a good example of like just ask.
yeah,
Sometimes you just
yeah.
have to
I
ask.
mean, yeah, worst answer you get is no,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Or possibly one of those situations where it's kind of like, ooh, that's kind of a bit more than what I was asking for as far as monetary cost.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I just he does these monsters so well, and I thought, come on, like I thoroughly enjoy Wraith of God. I cannot wait for Blood Hunters, and I just got an inkling. I'm like, hey, I just reached out to him, and he said yes. So here we are.
Worked out. I love it. Very cool. And then this is issue one. Do you have planned out yet how many issues the story is going to go?
So this particular this story arc is his initial introduction to everybody, and also he has a um, this obstacle that he has to deal with, and it's kind of we're getting like right in there. We're starting to really see some of the issues that he's having in this, even in this little ash can. We're seeing the wrinkles between him and his virtual intelligence Sally, and so as it progresses in the next three issues, each issue I'm planning to do 32 pages each. So by the end, like once I get done with issue number three, I'll be able to package them as a 96 page, story page at, trade paperback version,
Cool.
or graphic novel, if you will, just to keep it together. But then there's going to be issue four, issue five. Like I plan on it's going to be a serialized going forward. You know, he's my Spider-Man, so or Spawn. That's what I'm telling folks.
Cool.
And so
I love this serialized storytelling. And I think it's cool to do, hey, I'm just gonna do a short story this time. I'm just gonna do a one shot. Like I think that's okay. But there's an awful lot of that. And I do appreciate when there's like a series that's building. Because then I don't know, just comics lend themselves to sequential story. I mean, to serialized storytelling so well that I don't know. I just love to see more series coming out. So
what
kudos.
what I would like to do is kind of do what I really enjoy in shows, like for example, CSI. Especially all of the stuff before Ted Danson joined the show. Like I loathe any, like no, like not that is not my CSI. Okay,
Yeah.
anything before that, right? Gil Grissom, like he's my guy. To those of you out there that watch CSI, and but what I love about that show is each. Unless they do like a two-parter, occasionally they'll do like a to be continued, and then it's a two-parter episode. But each episode is a nice, here's the thing that happens. They deal with it, and then but there's always this kind of like uh, uh, subplot that's with the different characters, and we kind of like get to see what's going on with Gil Grissom in his personal life. We get to see Catherine Willows and her personal life with her daughter and with her ex-husband, and and Sarah Seidel, like all the different characters. We kind of get to see what's going on as those episodes go along. And so that's kind of what I want to do in Chrome Dog is he has all these different characters that are in his orbit, which may actually eventually spin off and have their own adventures in other books. But I also want to kind of tell the story in a organic way as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I like that. And sort of planning for these chapters, I mean, it really affects how you write a story for sure. I know with me, once I started thinking of, I mean, really from the beginning, a little bit, I was thinking of Downcast in sort of chapters. But once I really was like, no, this should work as a single issue, um, then it felt more like comics. I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah, there's something about that format that just works really well. I love too how this is a bear. First, I was like, "What is happening?" This like little funny bear in a costume, and
Yeah.
then you see now the reveal is happening. So I like that. That's pretty clever. I want to check back in on this campaign. We'll be looking at it throughout the night. It is on. Let me just post the link here. I can't multitask. Right now, it is the links in the description below. It's on Indiegogo right now. It's live, so you can pick it up for sure. But I posted the link, and we'll come back to this for sure. I have a few other things that I want to get over, but yeah, this will be. I'm really excited to see this project how it goes. Let's see. So I'm already seeing Fatal, and I titled this I think it's Finishing Fatal or something
Oh,
like that.
nice.
Yeah, Finishing Fatal. Holy cow! There are it's like 203 packages left to ship out, and so I was actually preparing those. I finished signing, an additional 150, and I'm going back to those. After we're done streaming tonight, and so by the end of the week everything should be shipped except for if you ordered a head sketch from Charlie. Those are still in process, but I think that's kind of what people expect for original art sketches. But yeah, it's going pretty well. JDC
Nice.
says received my Fatal in the mail today. Worth the wait. Um, I've been very very pleased with how the book has been received. I'm always nervous, like like just once you start
Right.
shipping, it's like this whole. I mean, like when you launch a camp, and is this your first campaign? Yeah,
Yes.
or at least
But I can attest to the handing the ash can to people
oh yeah,
in the PDF, and handing it to them and then getting that initial reaction.
yeah,
It's kind of like, ooh, how are they gonna like it?
yeah.
What's happening here?
It's but it's like when you launch your campaign, it's the same kind of stress. When you're handing over like something that you've created, and you work really hard on it, and but yeah, then you just put it out there, and it is, I don't know, it's scary. So um, yeah, it's good to see
Totally.
that people are enjoying it. RS says Fatal is great. Thank you, appreciate it. Not too bad. I still need to read Fatal. My backlog is bigger than my reading time. I've got that problem too, Dell. I hear you. AL is here. Great to see you. Here's a question for you. Is this all ages? It's for Chrome
So
Dog.
what I put in the description text of it is 10. It's ages 10 and up, but that doesn't mean that a 6-year old you could hand it to them and be perfectly fine with them reading it. It's just some of the themes that I'm dealing with, and the language is a little harsh. So like I'll use damn or hell. I don't go any further than that. I won't. And if I do, it's going to be like I'm going to try to employ like sound effect that interrupts it or whatever, because I think that's a little clever. But otherwise, I want this to be approachable for all ages. And when I say all ages, like I'm not saying it's for little kids. It's
Totally.
it's for adults to enjoy, because I'm trying to tell some pretty hard hitting stories about man's relationship with technology and the technology's relationship with man, and how that interplay between those two, because I'm completely fascinated by that whole idea. Cyberpunk, gene punk, that's what at least that's what I call it. Where genetics come in, and bio manipulation, things like that, is It's very fascinating to me. Transhumanism, if you will, is a topic that I just love. I love the whole concept of how, for whatever reason, man decides we're just not good enough as we are, so we just want to alter ourselves. I mean, okay, and let's see what happens when man does that, or when another person says, hey, I want to, manipulate and change someone else into something else, and the fruits of what happens. And so we're gonna, throughout the storytelling that I'm bringing with my introduction to Epsilon City, which is, Chrome Dog's backyard, so to speak, and front yard. Um, it, you know, there's going to be elements of technology that's, it's kind of out of time. It was an advanced technology that has long since been lost, but now is starting to kind of creep into this 1980s, 90s technology type of place where there are phone booths, and cell phones aren't ubiquitous. And so, and so as this advanced technology kind of seeps in, how is that going to transform these people, and what's coming too? So it's, yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Yeah.
A lot of heady stuff, and but I definitely want to, the action. I want it to grab the kids. I want them to look at it and be like, "Oh, right," they want,
Yeah.
they got a little, I envision them with a Chrome Dog action figure, like a action figure with Seether, or as we see here, Phenom, like duking it out or whatnot, and so yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, no, and I love the like truly all ages the term. Um and because I don't know, I will watch kids shows with my kids from time to time, and sometimes they're not made for adults. It's just for a kid show. When they're an all ages show, um everybody's enjoying it on a different level, and yeah, I really appreciate those kinds of stories. So good stuff. AL says, I read Fatal, but my only complaint is you left it at a cliffhanger. You better have the next one soon. I know. Yeah, we went over this, and it had to be that way. I think everyone would have been far more upset if I tried to make it resolve in a nice, tidy way. The story is just bigger, so sorry, AL.
Wait, wait until folks read this issue, because I leave a cliffhanger that's just like they just got to get the next one.
Yeah. Nice. I sometimes, I mean, I don't know. I don't always. I think sometimes it's okay. And the important thing is the story. To me, it was like the story's first, and so
Right.
if it's gonna be wrapped up nicely in an issue, that's fantastic. If it just isn't, then go for it. Like lean into it. So I totally did that, and yeah, I'd love to see that here too. Bob Gable, hello, says, why don't you send Ethan the link for Give Clint? I bought Fatal, loved it. Thanks for buying Fatal. I I don't know. We've got 8 people watching the stream right now, so it's like it's just a fun stream. Anyway, will you and Charlie make a number 2? That is the plan. Absolutely. AL says like and subscribe. Yeah, please do. I promise. I keep telling people I'm going to make more video content. I really will be. It's just I've got 200 more packages to go. It really seems like a prequel. We still don't know what's happened really. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Okay, one of the things that bothers me sometimes about crowdfunded comic books is you can kind of get into um like exposition or backstory. Like there's too much setup, for what is gonna happen, and they'll have to explain all the history and why things are the way
Right.
they are and all that kind of stuff. That's not interesting for me to read at all. So I much prefer a story when you can get into the action and you sort of tell people what they need to know as the story goes. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. But I totally get it. There are absolutely more secrets to be revealed, and more information, and they'll come as they are needed. If that makes sense. Preamble? Yeah, yeah, it could be. That is totally fair, Bob. Um, well, cool. Here, let's look at. Oh, before I forget,
Yeah.
and I love talking to the chat. Sometimes I get pulled off, but I sent out this today, and it was a survey for one question. I sent it to the mailing list. Yes, I did a poll like this on Twitter, but I feel like it's just a particular small group of people on Twitter. Really, I mean, I got a decent. I think I got 100 people that responded, but in this case, I thought I'll hit the mailing list because that's primarily people that are plugged into the campaigns, and they're going to be able to get more downcast, like Snuggy Junior says here.
Yeah.
And so it's a one question survey. And this is important because I say preferred. I know there are going to be a number of people that say wherever you post a downcast is fine, or just do both. They might say that. But the question here is, where do you prefer it to be? Not that
Right.
so you're only going to be picking one or the other. At least I think that's how it works. Oh well, I should have thought that through. You can actually select both. That is okay though, because if you do select
Yeah.
both, then I know,
Yeah.
if
Then
you're,
you get, yeah.
yeah,
Well, Darren, maybe can I submit again because I've already submitted one and I'm backing anywhere, and if I had another choice, it would also be your website.
yeah,
Um, but but yeah.
yeah, and that's okay. I think backing anywhere kind of gives me free reign to do whatever, so
Mhm.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But the more I looked at it, I'm like, I love I love Indiegogo, or I have loved Indiegogo for such a long time. It's a good platform. It does what I need it to do. But the
Yeah.
fact that right now, for instance, if we go to, let's just see, explore comics, and if we're looking for Fatal, it doesn't even
Right.
show up at all.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
you'll get, thrilling comics, by me. You're going to have to go out of your way to find Fatal. And that's a little frustrating. So
Is it still in demand?
it
Or
is, yeah, still in demand.
okay.
And even if it wasn't, if people wanted to go get it, I don't know,
Yeah.
or just see it from the past. I don't know. It's
Right.
a little frustrating, and
Yeah.
so it almost feels like I'm playing chicken with Indiegogo, and I don't know exactly how to handle that. But at the end of the day, as I put here, it's about the backers, and if there are backers that are like, yeah, I'm not going to your I don't want to go anywhere else. I just want to go to Indiegogo. I really want to know those people and how many there are. But I think I might have a strategy that works for this. I just need more information. So I guess that's where I'm at. Snuggy Junior says launch now. I totally could. Um, I have enough downcast I could, but I will set a date. How about that? My plan is by the end of the week I'll have a date and I'll start publicizing that date. You should have mentioned you'll make more money if people buy on your site. That is true too, and I think what I need to do is sit down and figure out exactly how much and what the difference would be. But I think once first steps first, I just kind of want to see how open-minded people are and kind of what they're thinking. And again, if I knew for a fact that Indiegogo was going to let the campaign be searchable, I would probably just do it on Indiegogo again. But I don't know that. I'll be back
So
wherever.
well,
Yeah, good.
the thing is, full disclosure, I chose Indiegogo only because fundmycomic.com wasn't ready yet.
Ah,
And Luke Stone, my artist, has teamed up with Todd from Redshift Comics or Redshift Press. Forgive me, it's Redshift. I know that. So those two, they've teamed up and they're creating their own crowdfunding platform, and it's got some issues, and so it's being worked on in the back end and this and that, and so um, you know it had pardon the term, but it had a failure to launch, and I had
Yeah.
already had gotten with Michael Bancroft, and I'm like, okay, we're doing this launch party on February 3rd. I didn't want to push it back. I want to, I already threw the stake in the ground, so I'm like, I'm gonna do this day. And so I chose Indiegogo for that very reason. So that's why when you sent this survey, I my my real instinct was I'm backing anywhere. So if you get it, if for some reason you would like to put it on Fund My Comic, then I would definitely go there.
Yeah.
That's my preferred method because once it's up and going, there's supposed to be features that are things that people have asked for that they don't get on these other platforms. And then also, um, there's an introductory rate right now. I'm not sure how long in the future, but it's 2%. Um, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my little
That's
plug.
no, yeah, and I'm definitely open. I'm open to exploring that. It's I don't know. There's a lot. I I tried to make the poll easy, and it's like, well, one or the other. Just tell me your preference. But it really does get complicated because I I'm trying to think if I go wider, is that better, or if I go more narrow and just say everybody go here, is that better? And this has been a question that's been going on for years, and so this is the nice thing is this is an opportunity for me to make a decision. I guess like I'm kind of forced to make a decision, and the reality is that if Indiegogo doesn't make the campaign searchable, then I'm kind of forced to make another option anyway. um I don't know. I'm still thinking through this, but I told
Yeah,
Bancroft, like, if you just you already did it, like, just make a site and I'll throw mine on your site. We'll make it easy. But
yeah.
um, yeah, I still don't
Well,
know yet.
and the other thing about so Snuggy's asking, about it being searchable on Indiegogo. I just tried to do it on Google, and you can't even find it from Google. So if you search Indiegogo and then Fatal or Fatal Indiegogo, it doesn't. It shows backer kit, like whatever is on backer kit to try to promote it. So it doesn't even show up with Indicron. Of course, that's a cool place that Pixel's doing to be able to help people track campaigns. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
Yeah, Indicron.
Indicron's cool. Yeah,
I that could have been at one point in time because it was so popular and so much traffic came through it. I feel like if
mm-hmm.
that a few years ago was the place for crowdfunding to happen, it could have been extremely successful. Not saying that it couldn't be now, because it actually
Right.
I think it could be for sure. But IndieCron just had this moment where it was like the place to go look for CG books, and I remember
Mm-hmm.
I would just all the time be looking at it. So yeah, I like that idea. Pixel Trader, I'm assuming he's still running IndieCron, but good dude, and he's capable of making it work for a crowdfunding site. That'd be awesome. Snuggy Jr. says, "Did you try to contact Indiegogo and ask why it's not searchable?" The contact I have had at Indiegogo, I used to have one guy that I would go to when there were issues. He's not there anymore, and so I don't really have a contact. I have like a general email I can email, but it's not like a person that will, respond to me. I don't know if that's intentional or it's just kind of the hole that I fell into, but it's really actually been kind of tough to talk to Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Why not do both and see what the results are? Again, I knew that this would come up, which is why I asked for the preference. But doing both is not necessarily a bad idea. It could be a fantastic idea. There are a few little considerations though, because your goal, if you make it a fixed goal of, like, let's say 5,000 on the campaign, and then you do 5,000 on the website. If you reach it on the
Right.
website but you don't on the campaign, then what happens? So it can kind of get a little hairy. I think if I did both, the way to do it would probably be to launch on one and then launch on the next one like the next day or the next week or something like that, like close enough, but enough that it's kind of its own thing. Again, I'm still thinking through this, but that could be the right answer. So I took the survey already. Thank you, appreciate it. C Money says just got Fatal and it was worth the wait. Amazing artwork, vibrant coloring, action packed. I loved every page of it, but now I can't read to wait the second book. Um, I love it. Thank you, C Buddy. Appreciate that input. I've gotten nervous, but man, it's been like so much just positive feedback from getting the book that I just love seeing it, and you know much of it obviously is just Charlie's amazing artwork. I've seen him kind of appear on Twitter from time to time uh, recently, and I'm kind of hoping that things start to clear up for him a little bit. And he did say that he's planning to make more comic books. I think even outside of Fatal, he's planning a few things. So I don't think that's the last you'll see of Charlie. Lade Burton says, have many avenues of sell. Don't limit yourself. Totally, yeah. So that's the other end of the spectrum. As I thought, if Indiegogo really is affecting me in the wallet. That's like the worst thing you could do. And so the worst thing I could possibly do to Indiegogo is probably go to a competitor. Dare I say, you could go to Kickstarter. Don't let burn my house down or anything. But you could go to Kickstarter. You could go. I mean, there are Zoop is a place you could go. You could go to a competitor is the point, and just sort of show them that fine, we'll take this money somewhere else. And
Right.
what's the difference between that and your own site? I don't know, but I guess it's just the searchability, people being able to find you on a platform. So you may be stumbling on the details and missing the big picture. I would guess most of your backers saw a video or two and clicked on a direct link versus searching Indiegogo. Maximize that traffic. Yeah, totally. And I think Indiegogo actually takes credit for more traffic and backers than they actually are really getting you. And so I think, yeah, I mean, just making it easy for people to get to it. Does Indiegogo, just sending people to Indiegogo get you more, maximizing that traffic for seeing a video? I don't know. I mean, there's so many unanswered questions here, but yeah, I think it's interesting to look over for sure. Lots of creators are setting up their own sites. Totally, I don't think that's a bad thing either. I mean, if it to me, as I've been backing campaigns on creators' own sites recently, it's not that big of a deal. I just back it and I buy it. It's the same kind of situation. Pre-order, I get it when it's done. So far, I think it's been just fine. Sadly, internal politics has killed a lot of chances for small creators to promote books. It's is it a rough time right now? You'd probably know.
It so I mean, just as a barometer, like I am noticing there's a little a little bit of tribalism here and there. Um, and so but I mean, I am one of the I'm a kind of person that even when I was in high school, I always just mingled with the people that I wanted. I didn't necessarily fit in any particular group,
Yeah,
um, or whatnot. I didn't feel like I was, but I will say I'm loyal to one thing, and that's my colleagues. And when I entered this space, I came into it, and that's one of the reasons I was able to acquire Aaron Lopresti for the alternate cover is I when I entered the space, I looked at each of you. Okay, you, Clint Stoker, Von Klaus, Eric Weathers, Sean, the list. Even EBS or John Malin. I saw each one of you as contemporaries as well as potential colleagues that I would be working with at some point in the future. And so keeping that mindset kept me focused on the concept of producing a comic book, not just a comic book, but an array of comic books. And us being creators vibing off of each other in our works, and in a creative process. um, to me, that's what I'm here for. The inner, people having getting butt hurt over this or over that, or this person's not promoting me enough, or people feeling entitled and stuff like that. I don't really know. I'm not. That's just not me, man. It's like
Yeah.
I'm just out here trying to grind it.
Yeah, I think
So
just to like address this point too, I think I've seen, I don't know, I think I'm going on 5 years. It'll be this fall that I've been making videos and about comics specifically. And so it's been, I don't know, like I've seen so many things go down over the years. In all honesty, in the past almost year, I've done such little on YouTube. I have been so busy with my day job and family that I'm just, I feel like I'm so out of the loop that I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So when I get around to promoting Downcast 4, I don't even know what to expect, but but I can totally see now the climate right now seems to be like there's just less avenues for small creators, especially new projects, to get seen. At least that's just at first glance, and I could be off, but yeah, that's what it seems like. Snuggie Jr. says, I got no response from customer service when they hid my campaign. Yeah, that's what I
mm.
worry about. Crazy Mad says, Hail, hello, good to see you. Let's see. Oh, Eric Weathers, the Eric Weathers is
Oh,
here.
hey. All
And
right.
I don't want to like spill the beans or anything, but you're going to be
Well, no,
okay.
it's on the campaign. Like
Okay.
I went ahead and added it because yeah, he and I we talked about it today, and so we um, yeah, he's come on board as our
Very
letterer.
cool.
So thanks, Eric.
Love it. That's awesome. Eric, I'll always say Eric's the greatest letterer. I'm sure there's fantastic letterers out there. Eric just does such a killer job every
Mm.
time that I only hire Eric. Del A says crowdfunder. That's a site out there, right? You could do that, right? Uh, Everyone's got to say hi to Eric. Try Kickstarter, Clint. There's not the same stigma, I don't think. Well, at this point, I'm totally speaking openly here. Boycotting Kickstarter because they banned somebody, years ago, or banning Indiegogo, boycotting Indiegogo because they're banning me, like that. You know what I mean? Like it's frustrating because I, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Um, Part of me thinks if I was gonna go everywhere, if I was gonna do the shotgun approach, then lean into it and do one on my own site, one on Indiegogo, one on Kickstarter, um, and one on Crowdfunder. I joke, but I could total go fully lean into it shotgun approach where it's on every platform, um, and go super wide, or I could really rein it in and say I'm just doing it on my own site. That would be the most like laser focused reserved version, but I don't know. I've seen so many campaigns on Kickstarter now, it's hard for me to pretend like it is a negative. So um
Mm.
Zoop does, let's see, Dele says Zoop does email when they have new campaigns going out, so they do try to benefit their backers and campaigners. That's the biggest thing. Indiegogo sends these surveys out and they ask you what they can do to improve, and I always say promote. Like if I'm going to use your platform, the only reason it's not the exchange of money, it's being discovered on your site by new people. Their mailing lists have got to be massive with how many people they know have backed comic book projects. If they could send out a newsletter, or even an opt-in newsletter for new comics and send out a mailing list to those people, I know they're capable of doing it. I've seen Kickstarter do it as well. But Indiegogo just, I don't see that kind of support at all. I've never gotten an email saying, "Hey, here's some new projects you might be interested in," and so
Well,
that's a little
so
frustrating. Good.
So I get their promotional emails all the time. The problem is they're trying to sell me on this weird gadget or
Yeah.
this vaporware project, which I mean you never know, right? In those things, but none of them have to do with the interests that I whenever I created my account or can go in and update now the different interests that I selected. They don't target me for that, and that's they're missing out. I really think it sounds like the engine's running, but there's nobody behind the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah.
want my if you want my opinion about it, I think
Totally.
it's
It's
less about maliciousness. I think it's just incompetence.
yeah. So I know that there, and that's part of it is I'm like, I don't really know if it's a, because it almost seems like it's an error that campaigns
Yeah,
don't show up. It doesn't
yeah,
seem targeted, or it seems like if they were specifically targeting campaigns, they would
yeah,
make a bigger deal out of it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we care
right,
about keeping these people out. You know what I mean? They'd
yep.
want like the social points for it, but they don't do that either. So I don't really know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Why? I don't know.
Well, I live out here in the country, and we have this saying. It's that boy's getting too big for his britches, and that
Yeah.
it seems like Indiegogo is getting a little too big for their britches. And they just can't. I think they've overextended themselves, and they can't really like keep up with the stuff. So they're writing checks that their butts can't cash, so to speak.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
hey,
I
it's
don't.
life.
It's I don't know. It doesn't. But and then at the same time, you're thinking if it really is incompetence, do I want to be? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like that's
right. Yeah,
almost worse in some ways. I don't know. But again, Indiegogo has been
yeah.
fantastic for years, so it's I don't know what to say about it. Bob Gable for 199. Thank you for the super chat. Says, what happened with EVS? Do you still like CG? Why? I I'll be honest. I haven't. I don't know if you're referring to anything recent at all. So um, I like everybody. I don't know what else to say. Um, loved the book. Thank you. What if you teamed up with a few other creators on a site to create a smaller but more focused synergy of smaller books where people go there for one and buy a few others when they see them? I have thought about this quite a bit actually and make expanding sweetcomicshop.com. That's my website. I already have, but I have thought about extending that and sort of um, maybe cherry picking campaigns or cherry picking books that I liked and just make it an avenue for you to find books and maybe I could recommend them and sort of building it out a little bit. At the time when I was seriously considering it, I didn't do it because I didn't feel like there were enough finished books that were out there. But right now, I mean, there are tons of books. So um, yeah, I might. I'm considering that. I'm not sure the best way to approach it because I would want, anytime you're working with people or collaborating in some aspect, things can go wrong. So I'd want to be careful, but I think it could be a fantastic route to go. But not Rob Arnold. I don't know what he's talking about. Hello, Eric Weathers. So let's see. Kickstarter doesn't get much YouTube traffic. Figuring out the marketing tools for Kickstarter might be a challenge. And people, I came from like I did a Kickstarter once. Um, Before I ever did comics, it was, it was a game. It was a card game, and they have a pretty robust system to like promote. And there are some people that
Yeah,
just scour Kickstarter looking for projects to back. I know that sounds
yep.
mad and you probably won't get a
No,
lot, but I have evidence of that. Like it is a
yeah,
fact.
it works. It
Yeah.
is. I mean, especially like tabletop role playing games. Oh yeah,
Yep.
people I know. I'm involved in that space as well, and lots of folks. That's what they do. That's their thing. Instead of hanging out in YouTube chat or in watching YouTube shows, they just scout. They're just every day. They're always got a tab open at work or whatever. They're watching Kickstarter like a hawk.
Yeah. It's true.
So
And it's maybe there are people that do it with Indiegogo, but the point is that they're just different platforms and they're used differently. And so I can see which is why, full disclosure, when I first considered using Kickstarter for a comic book, it was for, I got this book right here. I thought I already have Downcast 1 and 2 done, and I need to reprint it. And
Mm,
I collected them into this version. And I thought, because everybody has already backed this book, why don't I take it to Kickstarter? And this is a brand new thing that I could launch on Kickstarter. And I
right.
needed to reprint it anyway. So I went ahead and, you know, I reprinted it, but I was going to launch this on Kickstarter to pay for the printing, and I didn't. I'll let public pressure decide. And then I ended up paying for it myself out of pocket to reprint it. And yes, some people backed it on a campaign, but it didn't have its own campaign. To me, I thought that would have been, I
Hmm.
couldn't see why there'd be a downside with that. But
Right.
um,
Right.
I don't know, it made sense. Mormon Mafia, yeah. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
let's say now it's time to launch as Fado fulfills. I was talking to my wife about this too. I was like, if I was smart, I'd be probably launching right now, but I don't think I could handle it. The stress of fulfilling a major campaign and launching at the same time. Uh, it's coming, Snuggy. It'll be good. Great artist. Probably talking about Eric, or talking about, I don't know, anybody. Eric, Charlie. He did an awesome job lettering for Fatal. Absolutely. Eric designed some really cool sound effects. He has, I don't know, he just does a great job with lettering. So I am excited for you to have Eric letter your book as well. It'd be great.
Me too.
Legends of Logged Crownfutter, and I got my books, so I can't complains. Yeah, not everyone is shadow banned. I know it. Yeah, that's the thing, is it feels like Russian roulette, because I mean, you haven't had with Chrome Dog, you haven't had any trouble, right, with discoverability?
No.
No. So
No. No. Yeah. It's very much on there. And I've even tried to, I've logged out and tried to search, as a new user, um, and uh, and so yeah.
yeah.
Um,
C Money says yes, shotgun it, or Snuggy Junior, not C Money. Sorry. I'm considering it. I think there's probably like a delicate approach to it, but it's tempting. Let's see, Mr. Way. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. I know what happened. They missed your music intro. If you use it again, Indiegogo will stop it. This madness. I started to again actually on a few videos recently. No one really commented on it. I'll do some more, Mr. Way. It's coming back. Why not? Battle Brick Road. Yeah, Eric killed it. Never tell him you'll only hire him. That's with Eric. When he ups his price, you have no leverage. You got to keep reminding him things like Dean James does a good job lettering too. That's yeah. There you go. There's the strategy. A lot of people turn off marketing emails from Indiegogo because every time someone updates the campaign, you get a notification. After backing hundreds of campaigns, that's way too many emails. Yeah, I 100% agree. It kind of gets insane. And also, I think um, I've noticed, and maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes when I update a campaign, there will be three other updates, and I'm sure it happens with everyone else too. But maybe you get a campaign update and it reminds you, hey, I should be updating my campaign too. And so it like kind of triggers more the same day. That's pretty funny. Let's see.
yeah. I'm due for another update, which we'll get into here shortly.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get back to it. Man, chat's actually moving today, which is fun.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love it.
you should do more with CG UK, Charlie's London, Bancroft from Australia. Totally, yeah. I love streaming with Charlie's London, all those UK guys. I have a lot of fun with them. Bancroft, absolutely too, for sure.
Hyper Wizard's awesome, by the way. If you've had any chance to check out his streams, he's great.
Nice. Yeah, there's just some cool creativity. I love it. Brian Chris got here. What's up, Clint? What up, everybody? Weathers
What's up?
refused to letter my bookmarks. Were there letters on your? And that would have been, yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Price just got 100 feet higher. Gee,
Well,
I
I mean,
can't.
and when you're considering back in Chrome Dog, don't forget Six Gun Gorilla while you're at it.
Yeah, Brian, I saw him put some updates out. He doesn't. I think I'm all caught up on six. I want to back everything Six Gun Gorilla. I think I'm caught up on everything, but maybe now I have to check because I want to make sure. Amanda V just finished Fatal. So when's number two?
Ooh.
It's coming, but the honest truth is it's probably going to take a little while, um, but it'll be worth it. I'll put it that way. So, um, all right, I think I'm caught up. All right, there we go. All right, let's look at Chrome Dog again here. You said you have an update. Let's do that first. Let's get into that.
Well, the update has to do with, I've today I reached out and kind of, I had been, you know, actually, let me back up. So Eric Weathers put out a tweet the other day saying that he's essentially looking for work, and so I shot him a DM. I had approached him a long time ago, and he's actually given me encouragement and resources to start my own lettering journey,
Oh,
which I
cool.
did. I kind of made a little bit of a start, but it's my day job. If I didn't have something that if I was able to focus and have that mental energy when I got home, it's kind of one of those things. It's balance, work life, family,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But and so I reached out to him, and he we talked turkey, and then I kind of sat on it for a while, and I've just been ruminating on these letters that Luke did for me. He's gracious enough to do letters because he has started lettering the hybrids, his own comic, and so the more I thought about it, I'm just like, um, so I got a copy of Blood Honey on a discount flash sale that EBS was kind enough to provide. And as I'm reading that comic, I'm like, this like Eric's work just completely does what like I want to see in my comic, and so I'm like, I got it, and so I've been pondering this and that, and so today I've just finally, made it official. I asked Luke first. I'm like, would you be mad? And he's like, no. And I said, okay. Plus, he has a lot on his plate too. He's got so much going on, and he's moved from Jacksonville, Florida, up to Indiana. So I mean, he's got multiple books he's working on. He's a busy man, and so I think lettering on top of doing the art, right? He's doing the art for Chrome Dog for me. I figure I'll just take that off his plate, put it on Eric's, and Eric was kind enough to oblige. So here we are. So Eric is now our official letterer for Chrome Dog #1.
Very
So this
cool.
ash can is not Eric. This ash can is Luke. So,
The existing one.
and by the way, the ash can is the first 10 pages of the 32-page comic book. For
Okay.
those of you listening.
So this is a sample of the book. I mean, not just a sample. Like that's a sizable sample of the book. You get you started into reading it.
Yep.
And the letters aren't bad here at all. Um,
Right.
but I I might be biased. I really like Eric's letters for sure. So I'm happy for you. But this looks great, and it's still you can follow the story. I like the artwork quite a bit. I like the fact that he's inside of this costume. I don't know why. I just thought,
Yeah.
what's going on here? And then I saw this page
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
that's when it's I see. Anyway, it's been fun, so I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you can read the Ash Can, and it's really just a sample. You can get into the story and start enjoying it. So I
Now,
love it.
we were talking about Bancroft, and if you'll scroll up to where the trailer is, there's a second video there in the rotation, and that's a live table reading that Bancroft and Hyperwizard did the night before we launched on Bancroft stream. Uh, he did this impromptu stream. He just was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing tonight, so this or that. And so I suggested, I'm like, hey, why don't you crack open that PDF and read it? And he's like, that's a damn good idea. And so he gets Hyperwizard on. And so what I did was I took that whole segment and I cut out a lot of a lot of the pauses and some of the irreverent humor or whatnot to kind of keep it somewhat all ages. And so I made it into about a 10-minute video, which they go through and read the entirety of the 10-page Ashcan, and it's hilarious the voices that they choose to do. So
Oh,
I
nice.
just wanted to plug that. Haven't had a chance to talk about that. So
How long is this video? Or 10 minutes?
it's 10 minute, yeah.
Okay. Like we
But I'm
probably
just letting folks know.
no, that's cool. Yeah, I'm like we
Yeah.
won't watch the whole thing here,
Well,
but
yeah.
that's a
No.
but it's a I know that's fun. I like that kind of stuff. Like just good fun with comics.
Yeah.
I had
For sure.
Bancroft do a little skit for me one time. I don't know if you guys remember that. Uh, some say it was a little cringy. I liked it. It was fun. But
I
yeah,
need to look that up.
it's like
I'm sure it's around.
the shtick was that he's not really Australian. He's just doing it for sales, and so the accent's fake.
Oh.
Um, anyway,
Oh. Okay.
that was fun. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Nice.
But yeah, do check it out, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's see. The chat is still moving. Oh, sorry. Bob says, "Love Fatal. WTF with that ending. Loved it. Hated it. Yeah, it's just that is how it needed to end, which is not really ending, but it was fun to write though. I actually was really satisfied with the last page. 8 issues out so far. Current campaign is for the last two. This is Six Gun Gorilla for anybody that's not following. So it's for the last 2 issues and a volume 2 trade paperback. So I did back this because I know I'm waiting for that volume 2 trade paperback to match the first one. Everyone else has OCD as well, I think, is me, where it's like I have the first in trade paperback and I want everything else to match it. But I've literally been backing everything Six Gun Gorilla anyway. So however you're putting it out, Brian, I'm getting it. So I'm with you, Amanda. Yeah. That cover is dope. I think he's talking about this Aaron Lepresti cover. Even better in color, and that's coming from a black and white stand. Need 2 and 3. Hope
Nice.
Charlie is okay. Charlie is doing well, and so is his family. For I know people have been asking, but they're doing well. So I think things are going good. I haven't read Downcast yet, so maybe that'll have to suffice in between. Yeah, Amanda, that's enough. Downcast right now. There's enough to read. There's enough material that it'll be a nice chunk. But if you like Fatal, it's a totally different story. But I think you'll like Downcast. Downcast has been going over pretty well. Snogans. Oh, that's the artist Bob was talking about earlier. I have questions about Fatal. Okay. You can ask the questions. I won't do spoilers. It's too soon for that. I'm slacking, Snuggy. It's been a while that I've tackled the book the same day I received it. That's always high praise too when people get the book and read it immediately. Downcast starts out good and just it's better levels up with each book, which is what all of us hope to do. Thank you. That means a lot, especially coming from Brian. Happy to be part of the team.
Oh, thanks.
I'm trying to
Hey.
catch up here. Sounds great. Uh, if Fatal is a movie, it was maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, it was definitely not a movie. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. You put all this effort into a comic, and then I always think about how long does it take someone to read this? uh, but yeah, it was action packed, right? Awesome. But what's next? Downcast 4 is next, for sure. That is coming. And of course, Fatal exceeds expectations. It just never stops moving. Thank you again. A lot of that's due to Charlie. Did you lock in Charlie for book 2? Fatal is actually, it's not like I own Fatal. Fatal is Charlie and I. It was a joint venture. So it is just as much Charlie's book as it is mine. So he wants to do more Fatal. The timing is the real question. So let's see. It's an astounding amount of work that goes into making a single comic book, but if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. I hear you.
Absolutely.
Is Fatal 2 going to conclude the story arc, or is the plan to have a Fatal 3? Um, I don't know yet, and I know that's a weird answer, but the reason being is because we did Fatal Marvel method, meaning that the we talked about the storyline that we talked about and the outline that we had covered more than what is in Fatal 1. And so there's still like immediately more story that needs to be told. And so, but what ends up happening is Charlie will start drawing it and kind of go with it. And then I don't know, it kind of gets a life of its own. So I don't know the answer to that question. That's the honest truth right now, which I know is not a very great answer. What's up, Clint? Hello, I Monstrositus X. Oh, we get two of them for good measure. You can read a comic in 20 minutes, but if you're reading it that fast, you're not reading it the right way. I always find myself staring at pictures in comics, and they take me a long time to read usually. I don't burn through them. I know some people read through them really quick and then they go back and read them again or like look at the pictures. I just really I spent a lot of time reading comics for like a single issue. Um, yeah, Bob says it turned out great. Love Charlie. I do go back. Yeah, that's yep. Some people that's just the way that you read, and I respect it. What about you, Justin? How do you read comics?
So I typically I'll just go through and follow all the way to the end, and then I'll go back through it and I'll zero in and pay attention to the different panels and what they, what I may have missed. But also I like to study the choices that were made whenever they put each page together, why this panel is shaped this way, what's going on over here, and I get real meta with it because I'm still trying to study the art form so that it helps me visualize whenever I'm writing, and scripting out things and getting things in their proper places on the page, at least in my own imagination. And then of course Luke being the comics editor part of it, the one who's pretty much kind of looking at it like, hey, you want this ashcan to be 8 pages, but can we extend it another two? And it's one of those things. He says, I want to extend this fight out a little bit, so can we do that? So that was kind of his editorial contribution to, and I gave him wide berth to do whatever with the action. I just knew the different beats that I wanted to hit, and I knew exactly how I wanted it to end. But the interplay, that's all him. So, but yeah, looking at whenever I sit down to read, I just I soak. I tend to soak in it. I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah,
I don't read a comic book in a hurry. So
yeah. And if you do, I don't know, I guess let us know in the chat if you do, if you read it fast. I like whatever works. But yeah, it's always funny to me because it's like, man, they spend months or years in some cases making this comic book, and yeah, it takes someone 20 minutes to read it or whatever, whatever it takes. It's just kind of wild, mind blowing when you think about it. Um, all right, so I do have to get back to shipping, but I want to go over
okay,
your tiers here real quick as well, for the
sure.
campaign so people see what they get. Let's start here with your featured tier.
Hmm.
So you got the Arrow bundle two. So what's this? You get two of everything.
So right. So no, this is the Arrow Comics bundle number two. So you get one of each of these comics along with Chrome Dog and all of the unlocked um, stretch goals. And
Oh,
so or stretch goal items. So if you click that, it'll expand and it'll show you all the different the issues that we have here. Since I'm with Arrow Comics, we are we kind of do this under the advisement of Randy Zimmerman, our publisher, to provide other issues from other the other creators. So if you know Mad Ruth, he's the creator behind Soul Tack, which is was a successful campaign for the graphic novel. Well, he's breaking that graphic novel down into. He's with us at Arrow, so he's breaking that down into bite-sized floppies, and so this features the first issue of that as well as these other issues.
very cool. So yeah, this is a whole bunch of comics. Only $40 too. That's a really good deal. You're getting 6 different
Yeah,
books.
right.
Fantastic. Uh
Yeah, and it's
7 different
super
books.
popular. Well, it's six, and then the physical stretch goals is in that one.
Oh, oh, gotcha. I missed that right here. I see. I've been thinking about doing that where you could get a bare bones version that you don't get any stretch goals, no extra stuff. It's just the book. That's it. No signature either. Like just the book and make it less expensive. I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
think about that. I might do that. Digital only $5 for the digital version right here.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is I'm assuming just straightforward. This is the book.
That
$15,
is
which
the
is a
comic,
really good price.
and that's the original Luke Stone cover with Edgar Tavitas on the colors on the cover.
That's this one right here.
Yeah.
The Luke Stone cover. Oh yeah, of course. Second shift, Aaron Lopresti cover, and that's the one right here we're looking at. This is it in
Oh,
color now.
correct. Correct. That's full color. That is going to be the image. And unfortunately, the way in which many of you may understand, as soon as the perk is purchased, I can't make any alterations to the image. I'm learning as I go,
Oh
folks. So
yeah.
that's why what we have here is a mock-up of the original thumbnail sketch uh, from when he pitched 3 different cover ideas. We just kind of ran with that because that's all I had when I launched. And also just so you know, we're actually going to be changing some of the trade dress on there, so it's going to look much cooler than the original cover, because if you'll see there in that trade dress down at the bottom left is a place for the barcode,
Right
and
here.
because this issue is specific to this campaign, there's no need to have a barcode because it's not going to go into wide circulation. It's only for this first 30 as well as once I extend, and then outside of that, if you didn't back this during the campaign, you're not going to get it when I go in demand. So the Aaron Lopresti is, I'm trying to keep it special.
Yeah. That's cool.
And not only that, but the next one, which is the part-time black and white line art edition,
Let's see.
that I'm actually ending that in 6 days. So whenever we extend, the only way you're going to get this one, the standalone tier is going away, is what I'm saying. The only way you're going to get this is the big all-nighter bundle, which is it's the biggest tier that I have. That'll still be available through the second or the extension, but then once we go into in demand, you're not going to have access to that big bundle tier either. So folks, get on this while the getting's good, because I want, like I said, I want to keep it special.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Um, and then we have Arrow Bundle 1, $50. And this is
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
so that's the bundle from folks may recognize it from it's the same bundle that was offered in the Rift Riders campaign, and so this one also features Rift Riders #1. Again, if you look the estimated shipping on all of these perks is October of this year, and that's mainly because there's so many books that have yet to be fulfilled in their own campaigns, as well as being produced and actually printed. it's, so we have a lot of spinning plates. I'm hoping to be able to get them shipped much earlier than October, but I'd rather, promise less and give more,
Yep.
if at all possible. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
so yeah.
Um, cool. Midnight Shift pack. This is so this is the Lopresti version, and then you also get
Yep.
metal
A
print.
metal print.
I've
Yep.
been
A
wanting to
metal
do
print
metal
for
prints.
just the art.
I can't
Yeah.
find a company that does metal prints.
So I guess we can talk off air, but Luke. I mean, of course. I mean, I'm not. It's Luke. Luke's able to source these,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we're doing metal because it's Chrome Dog, and because
Yeah.
that's the other thing. I wanted to do like a chromium, special edition kind of like chromium cover and this and that, but I also noticed how difficult it can be out there to get the books to look right and this and that. And I didn't really want the hassle at this point. I think maybe I'm thinking once I get through issue 1, 2, and 3, and then I go to do a trade paperback, maybe I'll make that have a special cover. But between now and then, I want to get these books done and in the hands of the eager readers and grow this brand. I want people to I want Chrome Dog to be a household name.
Cool.
It's ambitious, I know, but dadgummit, I'm gonna try.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. So,
That's it. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, metal prints are always impressive. Um,
And see
that's pretty cool.
this one, I'm really. I mean, as much as I'm excited for the Lopresti print, I'm really excited for this one because the um, the whole like this cover is very important to me because I'm establishing that this is not Earth, folks. We've got two moons that we're looking at here above Chrome Dog, which he's standing in this amusement park after hours, and so this establishing shot, and then also if this is in a metal print, like that's like this is I'm done. Like
Yeah.
like I can die a happy man. Like this is the pièce de resistance or whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
cool.
I'm super excited to offer it.
And then this is
And
the
then yeah,
all nighter.
right. So that's all three variant issues with the two metal prints all in one big bundle together.
Yeah.
So
This is the one
as
I'm
well
like,
as
you
the
got to
short
have
cover.
one with both, right? Of course. This is it.
Yeah.
Black and white artist edition. I was never we did an artist edition on Fatal and it was like I don't know how this is going to work out, but actually getting them in person it's pretty cool. Like I do like the
Yeah.
artist edition. Eric
Well,
Canetti
and
does
that's
artist edition. I've got a couple, actually two of them here, and they're beautiful.
nice.
He does giant. They're like oversized 11 by 17 ones. They're really cool.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's neat.
nice. Well, cool. Let
But
me let
yeah,
me post the link here, and it is in the description as well. If you haven't backed it yet, do check it out. This is supporting a brand new #1 Chrome Dog. Book looks really good too. So, um,
thank you.
looking just back real quick at the chat. Yeah, okay. I think we're basically caught up. Turned out great. Love Charlie. Yeah. Oh, we got that. Charlie's amazing. Uh, there we go. I need to go back to writing.
Thanks,
Go
Brian.
back Chrome Dog.
Appreciate
Yep.
it.
And there's the link. All right. Well, Justin, Agent Zero, great to have you on the stream. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, great to talk to you. And I'm excited for you. This book looks really fun. And yeah, uh, keep it going. Are you going to be going in demand after the campaign ends?
Yes,
Cool.
yes, and that was kind of that's the point of trying to let everyone know that the Lepresti print will not be available during the in demand time. So it's all of the nice bells and whistles, trying to keep those associated with the actual campaign, and then going in demand, it's not going to be as I may do some interesting things with some secret tiers during the in demand possibly, but it just depends on how well we do by the end of the extension.
Yeah, I like that because people that back during the campaign, they're supporting it early. They're the ones that help you reach the goal. And then in
Right.
demand, I still love, all the backers, but it becomes less crucial, when you're already making
Right.
the book. And so it's almost like, yeah,
Exactly.
rewarding those people that back during the campaign. It seems like a really good idea. There's some, I might play around with that a little bit too. I think that there's a good reason to back it before the end of the campaign. So cool.
Well, I can also say that I received at least one backer this during this time. Someone backed me on the digital, so thank you.
All right, we'll
Appreciate
refresh
that.
it.
So,
56 backers. Thank you,
hey,
mystery backer.
yeah, I love it. It's great.
Good stuff. Cool. Well,
But
we're
yeah,
gonna. Yeah.
we're the first stretch goal. We're less than $800 away from it. Looking forward to that, and so yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Do lend your support, and yeah. Well, uh, goes in demand. There's 6 days left, though. It'd be great to hit that stretch goal before the 6 days, and so check it out. Read the ash can, and yeah, it'll be great. I think I'm gonna wrap it up so I can go back to shipping some books out. Almost done. I'll put out an update when we're finished with it. Again, good streaming with you, Justin, and
Yeah,
we'll see
it's
you
great.
all
Thanks.
next time. At least next week, right? I'll do something next week, but if not sooner. So, thanks everybody. See you later.
See ya. Mhm.